Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the newest way to determine whether or not your customers will actually buy your product, right? So I think customer research is a really important part of the Amazon FBA. So many people are focused on product research. Talked about product research a lot. Talked about a little bit about competitor research, but I think arguably the most important part is customer research. How is that target audience going to react to your value proposition? How's that target audience going to react to your branding? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Be sure to stick around to the end if that sounds like something you're interested in. But other than that, guys, be sure to like and subscribe down below, and let's get right into it. We're coming back in with the example from the beginning of the week. I like to kind of stick with something so you guys can get used to it for a little while before we move on. I can show you a couple different aspects of how I look at markets. And we're talking about customer research. Big part of what you have to understand is what they're thinking about the current competitors' products. So I always like to start by just spending an hour and just, if I find a product that kind of matches up, it's not a lot of competitors, the product is 1,000, 2,000 search volumes for what the customer's searching, and they're $7,000 to $8,000 in sales. Like, the market looks good. Now I need to figure out that customer research. I need to figure out what that customer is thinking. So I'll come through here. And generally the 5 stars are cool to look at. Don't think that just because it's 5, they're all going to be great. Sometimes they'll say 5 and then they'll give like a little bit of feedback. Like, oh, if there's one thing that I could change, I gave it 5 stars, good product, but I would change this. So those are usually the things we want to look for. Better than advertised, love it. So let's go to 4 stars, see if anyone put 4 and actually left it. So looks like terrible company, stay far away. This is a scam. So there's not a lot of information there. So when you see people that are like overreacting like that, there's not much to take away from that. And I guess that's just that one again. So yeah, a lot of people are really pleased with this product. And then if you ever see that there are 4 or 3 star reviews, but no one is really writing anything, it just means that it's a rating. So someone did leave a review, but they didn't write anything. So come through here, get this product, just subscribe, love it. So there's not a ton of written reviews for this one. So in that case, we didn't learn too much, which is why it's good to look at several competitors' products. So we go back to gold easel, wedding sign. Cool. And we'll look at another seller here. So let's go ahead and look at maybe this one will work, right? So there is a 4-star rating here. So let's see, it's from the same company, but let's just see if there's different reviews on this one. So not fun to assemble. So assembly is a big problem for this customer. Honestly, it's not a bad easel. The directions to assemble it, seriously lacking. I had to give up because it was driving me nuts. Wow, so they didn't even end up using it. So giving a 5-star for quality, and would 100% recommend if you don't mind taking it apart after each use. Does not fold for easy storage, fully assembled. That's the information we were looking for. It does not fold for easy storage. So all we had to think about was this one thing the customer said, and now we could kind of revolutionize how our product works. Ours is going to function like a traditional easel, or maybe it extends up from the bottom with the legs and then it collapses down with one screw and it folds together with a hinge. Okay, so those are all things that we can go to the supplier with and start thinking about how we would make those changes. For the most part, making changes to a product is really difficult. You'll learn really quickly as an Amazon seller, hey, sounds great, let's just change this. But the suppliers are like, yeah, how about 10 grand? And I'm like, how about no? So you generally will have to find products that already fit that description. It's kind of what I'm getting at. When we hear that it's not easy to assemble, don't go to a supplier that already sells that product and say, how can we make this different? How can we change this? Really what it becomes is, how do we go to a different supplier that has already made those changes for themselves and source that product? That's generally what we mean by that. Then when I'm doing customer research, okay, we've kind of it's not really a big market. We've kind of read through most of the reviews now. What else can I do? Well, what's one of the most used areas on Amazon? Like if you could think of one thing that was clicked on the most times, search bar, right? Everyone starts at the search bar. Amazon is kind of just like YouTube in the sense of there's a search bar, and that's where you're going to be going most of the time to, at least when you're not browsing, right? Very few people will browse Amazon. It's not a perfect analogy because people will browse YouTube, but go to the search bar and type something in. Well, thankfully, as being an Amazon seller with all these awesome tools like Helium 10, we can actually see what people are searching. So if we pull up X-Ray and we select a few of the most relevant products, we're going to be able to run a keyword search and now get a whole different outlook on what people are saying about this product, because we'll know what they're actually what they're desiring to change from this product, or what what they wish they could find from this product. So we'll select a couple relevant results here, and we'll go up to run keyword search, right? And what this is going to do is it's going to show us all of the relevant keywords for these ASINs. So what these ASINs have once showed up for on Amazon. So there's going to be thousands and thousands of results. If you have really slow internet, this might take you 10 minutes to load up, because there's an incredible amount of information that this tool is pulling out from these listings. And we'll see that here. It's probably going to be 9,000 search terms. So let's take a look at that. 12,000. So an incredible amount of data very, very quickly. And now what we might want to do is come down here, go into the advanced rank filter, and just say, okay, let's see, like 2 out of the 4 are in positions 1 through 25. So somewhere on the top half of page 1, at least 2 of the relevant results are showing up. We'll sort that by search volume. And then now we can see something. So easel stand for wedding sign, easel stand for wedding sign, or easel for wedding sign, gold easel, mirror stand holder for floor, sign easel for wedding stand. What we're really looking for is like, okay, brass sign holder. So everyone's doing gold. Okay, there's like a little bit of insight into that. Brass sign holder. Floor easel stand for display. Wedding flip-flop wedding sign with stand. So what even is that, right? We have customers looking for something called a flip-flop stand. I don't know what that is, and the results aren't showing me an incredibly relevant set of information either. So maybe that's something that I now go to Google and research. What is a flip-flop sign? I don't know. Do you guys know what it is? Comment down below. I've never heard of that. So as you can see here, I mean, I'm not going to go through all 100 different search terms, but don't be afraid to look at the ones that have 250 search terms. White metal, okay? Black easel for wedding. Those are just as good of search terms as the ones that are up higher. Maybe they have less, but that's only because we used gold as our source. What if we now put in black easel for wedding sign? And then we sorted 3 of those relevant products into a new list of 30 ideas. So we're starting to get a good idea of what customers are looking for. And then what they're looking for will kind of indicate to us what changes we should make to that product. So customer research for me comes down to primarily keyword research and reading reviews. That's about all the information we get about these customers on Amazon. Okay, that's where most people stop, and that's kind of just where I get started. Now what I want you to do is step into that customer's shoes. Okay, they're planning a wedding, so they're either a wedding planner or they're one of the people that are in the wedding, the groom or the bride, right? So they're looking up, pieces of decor for their actual wedding. What are other sites they might be going on? Are there wedding sites, wedding supply companies? Pinterest is probably one of the biggest places you can go. Sign holder for weddings, search that on Pinterest. Go look up on YouTube, like best wedding themes for 2022. Step into the shoes of this customer, and it doesn't have to be just for this product. This works in any area. Change what the topic is, go to the places where they go. If it's like something to do with hunting or fishing, go to like Field and Stream. Look at like Dick's Sporting Goods. Like, what are those big companies in that space doing? It's the same thing you should be doing. Don't try and collect all your information from Amazon, because most likely that's what all the other sellers are doing. So if you want to get ahead of the game, you got to go step into the shoes of that customer, figure out who that customer is, and maybe even talk to some of them, right? Talk to potential people that have weddings coming up. I mean, that might be a hard example to find, but who is a customer who would use your product? Get their insight, and don't try and change their mind about anything. Just collect information like you're interviewing them, and then make those changes or consider making those changes. So that's going to be it for today's video. Be sure to do your customer research. I can't stress the importance of customer research. Don't just think about it as product and how can I make the product better. You can't really think about making your product better unless you think about the customer. So it all comes back to this. So let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see videos like this in the future. I haven't made many like this, but other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Later.